Gotta do my caddy up, 'cause I couldn't be bothered wearing a bra. Repress all emotions.
Depends what book.
Do it. Hey everyone, it's Bethany from Beth and Books and welcome back to this Book Nook. Today I am coming at you with the Reader Problems tag. So as always, I will link the creator of this video down below. Her name is About to Read and she created this tag 6 years ago. So I just was perusing old YouTube and found this one and decided I wanted to do it. So just a heads up, I haven't actually thought about or looked at any of the questions apart from the very first one. About to Read has her questions in her bio, which by the way is super useful. Tag creator or tag doing people, super helpful to have the questions in the bio. So I saw the first question and stopped there. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first question is, you have 20,000 books on your TBR. How in the world do you choose what to read next? Here's my answer. My wheel. My wheel is my saviour. I never know what to read unless I'm like in a really specific mood, and just the prompts on here help me. So massive shout out to the wheel. Because honestly, without it, I don't know what I would be reading. Question 2, you're halfway through a book and you're just not loving it. Do you commit or do you DNF? This one's real easy for me, DNF. Or just like put it down and maybe pick it up later, but 100% I believe in putting books down if you don't enjoy them. Reading is all about the enjoyment, and the last thing I want to force myself to do is read a book just so that I can add it to Goodreads and be one step closer to my yearly reading goal. I mean, full discrepancy, sometimes I'm not loving a book and I push through, but that's with books where there's still that bit of curiosity within me. I still want to know how it happens at the end, and it is that sense of, I've made it this far, I'm going to see it through. My general rule is if I'm 100 pages in and I'm just not interested, then I will put it down. Question 3, the end of the year is coming up and you haven't quite met your Goodreads goal. Do you push through to achieve it, and how? Well, I can speak from experience. I don't push through to achieve it. Now, this is from my 2019 perspective that I'm talking about here. I think I had my goal at 52. And I got to 46 or 48 because my goal was to, on average, read a book a week. And I didn't make it. And I told myself that I was okay with that. And so 100% that's what I would do. This year, it was a bit different. Obviously, the year's not finished. But with quarantine, I read so many books that I met my Goodreads goal. But I'm so careful about not falling into the trap of this idea that you have to read like 52 or 100 books to be a reader, to be a qualified bookstagrammer or booktuber, because not only is this that utter just cack, you know, also I think it detracts from the idea that you're reading for fun. And for me personally, with my degree being in English literature, I fell into a trap during those years where I had to read so many books to, you know, do my exam, and I hated reading during those years, and I do not want to fall back into that. The cover of a series do not match. Do you cope? Yeah. Look, if I have the choice for them to be matching, I'm going to get them matching, but I mean, you can kind of see it on my shelf here with my like Hannibal Lecter series. I got these two, yeah, I've got the right ones. I got these two first because I got them from Book Depository. Then the other two in the series were on sale. They were 2 for $12 from the warehouse, and they are different sizes and different colours and designs, but I got them anyway. Granted, they're not too different, so it doesn't fully annoy me, but it's still an example. Do I have any other examples? Yep, I have another example with my Mistborn series. I mean, to be fair, they're similar. They're very similar, but they're not the same. I bought this one off, was it Paper Plus? Because I was doing a buddy read with a friend, and then I wanted to support a local bookshop after COVID happened, so this is book 2. So yes, they're similar, and they're the same size, but there is the slight difference how this one has the border. But honestly, the spine actually does like low-key bother me. But it doesn't bother me enough to like not own one of them and go buy another one just so it matches. Not me, I'd rather save my money. Question number 5. Everyone and their mother loves a book, but I really don't like it. Who do I talk to? This one,
Depends what book.
if it was like a real, what's the word I'm looking for without being classist towards books? Classics, like typical educational books that I would teach in the classroom, then I would talk to colleagues about it. But if it was like, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Come on, Bethany, words. A personal preference book, like my YA and fantasy stuff, then I would talk to Jono, my man Jono. I'll put his bookstagram here. He's a massive Star Wars fan, so it's really interesting to him talking about like sci-fi stuff especially, but he's my best friend and I would talk books with him all day, every day if I could. 6, you're reading a book in public and you're about to cry. How do you deal? I feel like a cold-hearted woman in saying I hardly cry, and to be honest, I hardly read in public. So it's almost like this question isn't relevant for me. I'm trying to think, when do I read in public? On a plane? Maybe if I'm traveling. I can't read in cars because I get so car sick. I don't take public transport because Palmerston North is a small enough city that my car or my legs gets me where I want to go. No, I mean, if hypothetically I was in that situation and I was about to cry, I would probably tell myself to suck it up and to keep reading. I would just pretend I had no emotions I would just repress emotions. There is my answer. I would repress all emotions. Okay, what are we up to? 7. A sequel of a book just came out, but you've kind of forgotten what happened in the other book series. What do? I wiki that stuff. I will find a synopsis. Goodreads, I don't like for that catch-up stuff. A blurb doesn't jog my memory enough. Often I can go like on wiki, so-and-so summary, and I'll read that. In some cases, I would reread, in fairness, I really knew I wanted to do a dedicated video for Midnight Sun, so I did reread Twilight a couple of weeks ahead to prepare for that. Excuse me, gross. Number 8, you do not want anyone borrowing your books. How do you politely decline? Again, I feel like this is cheating, but I don't feel like this applies to me. I literally have a stamp. Hang on. I will link this below because I had lots of questions in my bookstagram when I shared this. I have a stamp that says, from the library of my name. And I've stamped all my books. And literally, like when Jono, the mate I mentioned earlier, came around to my house, I forced him to take 2 of my books home with him to read. And I probably won't see him for another month. And I probably won't get the book. In fact, he's actually borrowing Scythe off me, and that was like 6 months ago now. But I don't care. I lend them to people I love and trust, and I know that they're going to get back to me. I guess hypothetically, if it was someone I didn't particularly trust with my belongings, what would I say? You know what? I don't think I would decline them. Everyone deserves a chance, right? I'd be like, yeah, just can you make sure you use a bookmark in it, so no dog earing, although that's kind of hypocritical because I dog ear my own books, but you know, helping, I guess showing that that's a way that you can respect books. So yeah, please use bookmarks, and I'd love to have it back within a month if that's okay with you. So putting a deadline on it. I feel like my teacher is coming out, like it's a really good way, you know, deadlines to make sure things get done or returned, you know. So also it's got my name stamped in it, so there's a little bit of backup in me knowing if whatever happens, I don't, like, they claim it's theirs. Not that I would ever say that to someone, but also at the end of the day, it's a physical object, and as much as I love it, it's not the end of the world, because obviously if something happens to it, you're not expected to lend your book out to them again. Reading ADD. You've picked up and put down 5 books in the last month. Come over your reading slump? Well, I don't know what that's about. Well, I've actually recently come out of a little reading slump, and my answer is to start afresh. I mean, I mean, okay, two options. If I have hit like 5 books that I've partially started and I'm thinking, what do I do here? I would choose the book that was most like read through, so I had the least pages left, and finish that and get like the snowball effect, which is actually a paying off your debt term. Look it up, it's quite an effective technique. So I'd snowball that. But honestly, if I was like, nah, I don't want these, I'm not interested, I would just put them down and go for whatever I felt like reading the most. Spin the wheel. That's what I would do. I'm very good at just being a bit like, nah, you are in the past. Denied. Moving on. That's a personality trait of mine. Okay, question 10. There are many new books coming out that I'm dying to read. How many, if any, of them do I buy? Great question. What is my answer? I think for the most part, I'm not someone who feels the need to necessarily read a book as soon as it comes out. My exceptions with that in this year have only been A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Where are we? Over here. Because that was obviously the Hunger Games prequel that I really wanted to do a video on for YouTube, and also another YouTube video which I really wanted to do, which is the previously mentioned Midnight Sun. Only those ones have I necessarily gone out and bought as soon as they came out. But if it wasn't something that I knew I wanted to have like a dedicated discussion about, honestly, I would just leave it and request it at the library, put it on hold, save my money. If it isn't something that I've already started collecting, then I don't see the need to like own it. For example, I guess in a way, the one I'm currently reading, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, like that was so hyped, but I didn't want to, I wanted to read it, so I put it on hold at the library and just waited a few weeks until it came in. I like to buy my books secondhand because they are cheap, and that means like I can buy 4 books for the price of 1 new book and just wait for a library copy or a sale. Just me making sure that I don't fall into the trap of feeling like I need to buy books in order to be a booktuber, if you get my drift. Alright, what's the last question? After you've bought the new books you can't wait to get, how long do they sit on your shelf before you get to them? Midnight Sun and Ballad, I read them straight away because, like I've already mentioned, I had like a plan. I wanted to read them for a video. This shelf, however, if you've seen all of those previous hauls, these are ones that I've bought on like mega sale, and I've literally bought them because they're like $2. Like all of these were like $2-3 each. Or I've bought them secondhand because I found them cheap there and it's been on my TBR for a while and I figured, why not? The worst case scenario is that I just donate my books to the school library, which I did with Love Boat Taipei because I only gave that 2 stars. Such a letdown. But anyway, what was the question? How long do this? Sometimes a while. Just case in point. Although I have put myself on a bit of a book buying ban, I need to read at least, 20 of these before I'm going to let myself buy more. But I'm not very good with putting restraints on myself. Case in point being the fact that as I am saying this, I am planning on checking out Trade Me. So that's been it. I've really loved going through these conversations, questions, and conversing with you about them. If you have any answers, let me know in the comments. I just love these discussions. And also, if you want to do this tag, I tag you. I'm really better at actually tagging individual people because I never want to feel like I'm putting pressure on you. But look, if you want to do it, do it. Do it. Do it. Don't wait for me to tell you to do it. I mean, what? Don't wait for me to name you. If you want to do it, do it. So with that being said, please leave a cheeky like and subscribe down below if you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for my upcoming ones. I have What the Hype episode 4 coming up for you in 2 days. 2 days. And I hope you enjoy all the places you go in your own reading adventures. Love you lots. Bye.